Hello everyone, today I'm working on this Life Like GP20 and a subscriber asked me to do a video on making these quieter. Honestly, I don't really make them that quiet, but at any rate I am going to improve it as much as I can. I have 4 of these, so I picked out this one because this is the noisier one of the bunch. And they're really neat. Look at this bell detail, it's really fine detail. And I really enjoyed that. I also like these New York Central stripes. And it's kind of neat, it's got the number boards. So really worth hanging on to them. Sometimes I go to my collection and I'm like, I should sell this, I should sell that. But really, as far as these are concerned, they're keepers. So I'm going to show you how noisy it is. Let's go on the track. So it's pretty noisy. To remove the shell, I use the box method. And inside everything's ship-shape. I'm sure I've cleaned this one before. It's a very simple design, split frame design. And I think the fuel tank has tape a little bit. That's got plenty of lubrication. Yeah, there's tape to hold it in. So what I usually do for the noise, I'll take out the fuel tank, I'll take out the light shield. Yeah, that's got plenty of lubrication, this unit. So take out the fuel tank, take out the light shield and the 2 lights on top. This is very, very close in principle and in looks to a Atlas GP9. The Atlas GP9 is also a little noisy. I'm not going to change it 100%. I'm just going to improve it as much as I can. So there's 2 things you can do for that. Boy, that circuit board is really in there. There. There's 2 things you can do to improve the noise. I'm going to loosen these screws here. I don't need to loosen them all the way, just enough to give me some slack so I can remove the trucks. So I put my screwdriver on the side, I pry it out so the trucks come out. Well, that was effective. So what I'll do is I'll try them like this and then like that, and I'll switch them around and I'll keep moving them around till I have the position with the least noise possible. So it's just trial and error until I find a position that I'm happy with. So I'll just switch them around. I'll just switch them around like that until I find a position that I'm very happy with. And then once I found that I'm happy with, I'll just keep that. So it's just trial and error. I turn them any which way but loose. So this is probably the best I'm gonna get. And you notice they sound differently going forward and back. So keep that in mind. If you want the locomotive to go a short hood forward all the time, you can choose that direction as the least noisy one. So that's pretty good. The last time I used this engine was January 19, 2017. So 4 years ago I ran this engine the last time. So the other modification that people do is they will remove one of the bearings. So that I have to take it completely apart to get to it. So this is a very simple engine to work with. If it's your first engine that you're doing, it's actually pretty good engine to start with because it's simple. So a lot of people, they'll remove these inside bearings here. So I'm gonna try that. I never did that because I figured that those bearings are there for a reason. So I got a feeling it would do the same thing to an Atlas GP9 because it's pretty much the same design. So in order to remove the inside bearing, you have to pull on this little, I suppose we'd call it a coupling. So I'm going to do that off camera because it's hard. So it's just pressed on, and then you remove the bearing, and then you put it back on. You just push it in all the way. And then you put the bearing that's on the end, and you put everything back in its place inside the engine. And I'll do the same thing for the other side. So this is what you will have. It still has little insulators like this and like that, so be sure that you have them. If you don't, you can have a short circuit, and that would be bad. So I'm just gonna put everything back together now. So let's go see on the track what difference this makes. It actually made the noise way worse. So here's what I'm gonna do. You can see there's a little bit of slack there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust my coupler so that there's no slack at all, just to see what that's going to do, if that can help for the noise. It actually made it worse, so I'm going to try this just to see. Now I'm very tight up against the bearings. So let's see if that makes a difference. Well, that seemed to help. So that's kind of cool. So I'm putting my middle bearings back on, but I am keeping the worm gears adjusted pretty tight. That seemed to help with the noise. So that sounds fine. Now I'm gonna put back the shell and the lights. So that was a cool little project. I'm glad I was able to do it. I am going to test the lights before I put everything back on. Sometimes the lights, they need a little tweaking, so you're better off doing that while the engine's in your hands, rather than putting on the shell and discovering that something's wrong. So I'll just hook up my test leads. So the back's fine. And the front's fine. Now I can put my shell back on. That should go back pretty easy. And now it's time to run some trains. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly had fun making it for you. See you soon.